Okay. Good evening, my family and friends here on the books. How are you? This your girl Casey McDaniel coming to you this evening on June 4th of 2024. I hope everyone is having a wonderful and blessed evening. It was like up in the 90s here where I'm at. As you can see little grays are popping up. But that's okay because I'm ready to just like show my age out here today. So, anyway, I haven't came on here in a minute because of the simple fact that YouTube struck down one of my videos. I don't know which video it is. They didn't show me, but anyway, they said the video was harassment and it was just like I don't know whatever they said. But hey, Frankie, how are you, love? Yeah, my grays. I gotta dye my hair, girl. Let me turn this down. Let me turn this down. Let me turn this down. Um, yeah, so I wasn't really like feeling it when they did that to me, but well, that's okay. That's okay. I'm watching Lean on Me. I just needed to watch this tonight because of what we dealing with right now in our young people of today. You know, when we trying to push education in them and push them out in the world to be better, you know, good citizens or whatever we have to do to help them along the way. Who is this? King Kong Dragon Boss Champion. Hey love, how are you? How are you, King? Yeah, so I said I was gonna come on here tonight. I wanted to just have a general conversation with you. Just a general conversation. Just to let you know I didn't forget about anybody. I just wasn't coming on because like I said, I was a little upset about YouTube. They struck down one of my channels. I mean, videos. I'm sorry. Take that, take that. That's that. You know, people, crazy people come on here. But we going to keep talking. We going to keep talking, y'all. So, anyway, y'all, like I said, they struck down one of my videos. I don't know what the video was. I didn't get a chance to view it of what I was talking about that they were so sensitive about. I noticed that it might have been something about this P. Diddy stuff that people were sensitive about, or it may have been something about Donald Trump. I don't know. Because I have like said some things, do a back dip. I don't know what that means. But I may have said some things that might have triggered some people, upset some people, or whatever. We living in this visual world where, you know, everything is about social media. And I didn't come up with social media. I came up in a world like where things were done on hands. Okay. Like I said, I'm 57 years old. I came up when we played outside. Parents told you the time you need to be home for supper. You came home for supper, and parents knew your friends. Parents knew the friends' parents. Parents just knew everything that their children were doing during the day. Okay, they was aware. You stayed in touch. You gave your status, whatever. This is a different generation today. It's a totally different generation. We talk about this every day where I work at. So we talk about what they doing now in our educational system to our young people, to the children. And I tell you children like this. Listen to adults. And especially listen to adults who have wisdom. I'm not saying listen to any celebrity or anybody that's a public figure. I'm talking about listen to your adults. Listen to your parents. First of all, listen to your parents and listen to your guardians. Whoever is in charge of your life right now and who's ever looking over you, listen to them. You may not want to agree with it in that season, but somehow later on in life, it's going to come. It's going to come due to the fact that they know what's ahead of your life. And the reason they know what's ahead of your life because they lived through that experience. So ain't nothing new under the sun to them. They just trying to give you directions on your path you should take. And especially when they tell you somebody ain't no good for you. Not everybody. Now when you listen, always question it to somebody else. I mean, not saying that all parents are good parents. Not saying that. But still listen. Even if they're not in a good place right now in their life, still listen. Because what they can tell you is that they're going through something that they don't want to see you in the future. It could go either way. Either they telling you something they don't want to see you go, even if they're not in a good place right now in their life, and they telling you something, still listen. If they are in a good place, still listen. Okay? And that's all I'm just trying to say. I wanted to talk about the prodigal child. And I spoke to a young lady on my job about that. She just graduated out of college. She'll be leaving us in the first week of July. She'll be leaving us because she's going into her field where she studied. And she really, really loves it here. And I told her like this. I said, well, you know what? You got to go out there and you got to see it for yourself. We don't want to hold you back from your dreams, your endeavors, or whatever. She just graduated. I gave her a graduation card and a graduation gift, and she was like, "You didn't have to do that for me, Miss So and So." And I said to her, "I said, sweetheart, God is good. I'm getting old, and one day I'm gonna have to be in that nursing home. One day I'm gonna have to be in that nursing home." So she's young. She's only 21 years old. She just graduated out of college with her bachelor's. She's so excited about it. And she's ready to go out there and walk into her endeavors, walk into what she went to school to study. And I'm like, okay, I want to bless you. And I hope everything works out for you. She's a sweet young lady. And I work with a lot of young people. And that's the thing about what I do that I love about my job is that I work around a lot of young people and I'm there to, there's some that I'm like, okay, they don't stay long. They only stay like maybe a week or maybe 2 weeks. But she's been with us and she's been doing a great job and she's such a sweetheart. And I just could not have not blessed her with some kind of gift for her great achievement she has accomplished in life. And that's the way I feel about all my young people that I know who has been keeping me up in their status and been doing what they've been doing. If I see something about you that I like, I am going to bless you. I'm going to bless you. If there's something I don't see that I like, I'm just going to just totally just ignore you. Okay? Let you figure it out. And that's just the kind of person I am. But she was just so excited. She was in tears and she was like, and I told her something about the prodigal child today and she was excited. She listened to the story I told her. And the prodigal child, of course, we know he had a rich father and he came from a very rich kingdom, meaning that his family had money. And he just wanted to go out in the world and explore and see what life is all about. So he goes out in the world and he gets messed up with some bad friends and loose women and everything else like that until he got down to his lowest. And when I say his lowest, he got down to the point where he wanted to eat from the pig pen, the pig pen, this pig slop. That's how low he was at. And then he realized where he came from. He got himself up and he traveled himself back home to his father. Because at the beginning, he took all his riches and everything. He wanted his portion now. He wanted to get out there in the world and da 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 da. And the father already told him what's ahead. You know what I'm saying? The dad already had explained to him what's ahead. But the father said, but if you wanted to see it, son, here's your portion. Go out there and see the world. And he went out there. And like I said, he explored with the world. He got out there. He got into all kind of bad He got into all kind of things, probably drugs, probably picking up loose women, prostitutes, women like Pitty Diddy and R. Kelly got with. I'm saying like that in that category. Women that used him and they used each other. Put it that way. They used each other. They didn't love him. He didn't love them. It was just no real true commitment to the relationships they got involved in. It was just all about what was at the moment, whatever. We talking biblical stuff. We talking about the prodigal son. I think that's in Luke 13. You will finally find that story. So, the prodigal son, he comes back. He, like I said, he goes to his lowest, then he goes back to home to his father. And the thing that happened is that the father says to him, when he see his son coming down the road and returning home, he says, "Oh my God, my son, he returned home." And he puts a robe on the son. Now the father has two sons. He puts a robe on this child. He gives him a fine ring, a ring of a king or whatever, and throw him in this big party and feast and all of the greatest people to come and celebrate with the fact that his son returned home. There's the other son that's there, and the son is like, "Dad, I've been here all along taking care of you, and you ain't do none of these things for me and honored me in such a way." He said, "But your brother, he went out in the world and he got messed up. He found his way home." So that's a great honor to me because he would never have known the things I told him until he went out there to see it for himself. Now he has seen it and he was lost and now he's found. He came to understand now. You always had my love, meaning you never left home. You knew my love was always there. You never went out and challenged me to see if that wasn't true. But this son found that this was true, what I said to him. This is why I'm honoring him. This is why I'm celebrating. You understand what I'm saying? So sometimes you got to go out in the world. And I'm saying this to young people because I know a lot of young people are graduating and they moving up in the endeavors and their careers and whatever they doing. But the thing is that whatever you're doing, you trying to change the world. You trying to change what mama told you and what daddy told you. But go out there and see it for yourself. Don't stay home thinking that you're gonna wanna wait till your mother, your father, your sister, your brother die, or whatever is there for you that you're waiting for them to pass away or whatever, whatever, so you can inherit that blessing. And notice that those children that do that, it end up being crazy. It end up driving you crazy, and it end up making your life, just miserable. You gotta see what's out there for yourself. But as long as I tell you the story, as long as I tell you what's ahead of your life, that's what's important. And then you return. And when I was telling this young lady, is that I see something in her that is great and that really can be beneficial to where she working at right now. But if she went to school to study blah 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 blah, I don't want to keep her there and make her not see it for herself. So when she see it for herself, I have a feeling she gonna return and back into this capacity of work, of be back into this kind of work. And I want to bless her as she go out there, whether she gonna come back or she gonna stay out there. But I have a feeling that this is really truly something she didn't know she had, that gift. And it's the same thing that happened to me. I stayed in the business of corporate banking for years. I stayed in it for 23 years. I made money, but I wasn't happy. I was miserable because it really wasn't what I wanted. I fell into that capacity of work because of the fact that I had a husband who studied in the business of finance. And I didn't study business. I've done to business. Business was mine. You know, I went to a business school and all that other stuff. But business wasn't really what I wanted to do. I wanted to be a lawyer. I wanted to be an attorney. I thought I wanted to be an attorney. Put it that way. I thought I wanted to be an attorney. I wanted to work. as in some capacity of work where I wanted to be on the defense side and I wanted to defend the attorneys. But see, the thing is that at that time when I was thinking about going in that field, and I wanted to go in the military, all this stuff that I put on hold, that's because my calling was. God put that in front of me. But the thing is that the part about being an attorney, about fighting for the defend in the defense side, I was to defend Christ. The part about me wanting to be an attorney and wanted to help those who didn't have a voice was to be on the righteous side. Those who, or everything that I said I wanted to be was truly the calling of God, that He was going to use me for His glory. He was going to use me to go into, walk into a field to help those children. Because children, they're young and impressionable, and prepare them for the world, for what's out there. But right now, at this time of their life, is the most important time of their life. Because whatever they get right now from their early development is what should follow them the rest of the days of their life. And that's when I realized that me working as an early educator was my calling. Was my calling. I always loved children, always wanted to have my own children, wanted to have a family and a life with the good husband who was going to be a great, you know, we was going to work together as a team, and we was going to raise a good nation of children. We was going to bring up good citizens in the world. And I know I had that in me. I had to go through those battles through my relationships just so that God will put me through the trials and tribulations, things that I had to make sacrifices to do, to love them even if they weren't my own, to care even if they weren't my own. The sacrifices I had to do. And it wasn't even about me. It was about giving God His glory. Giving God His glory. And working with the Sunday school, with the children and all that other stuff, and all kind of stuff I went through with churches, the church. And I listened to this one channel, and it's called the Standard of Truth podcast. And I believe the woman that is the person who runs that platform name is April. And then I was listening to her for a while, and I realized how much we have in common, that we both come from the Bronx. We both grew up in New York. We from New York. And our Christian faith and some of the churches we've been to, and we didn't know that we got ourselves an experience at the church. And she speaks on a lot of things. Her name is April Chapman. I love her channel. I said, this sister is me all the way. The way she uses her words, and she uses her own words, and how she crafts them, and everything about Christianity, about being a Christian. What is really like to be a Christian, and how she biblically expresses things, and how she tells people about things that's going on out in talking about the churches and the Christian faith, some things that are not lined up with God, and point these things out to people. And I said, this is a great channel. I love this channel. Okay, Great Lions Think Alike, because everything she basically talk about, I'm seeing things like things that's going around in the Christian community, in the church, in the churches of today. I see these things. That's why when she said about, is this a difference between Christianity and the church? Chris, Christianity and the church. And she's not talking about the church as far as, she's not talking about, I'm sorry, I'm saying the church according to the man-made church. She's talking about the church that Jesus Christ had built. And the church that Jesus Christ has built is the church that's in you. Because anything that don't line up with Christ in some of these so-called man-made churches should not be about you. You have to leave those buildings because those people aren't being led right. They ain't being fed right. They being they just get caught up with the emotions and they get attached to the pastor and they just want to come in and do what they want to do and they like to hear some of the things these pastors preach that it's okay to be gay and it's not lined up with God. It's okay, all this because we in that month now. We in that month of June, which is supposed to be the month of June is the month of pride, for gay pride. But, I listened to Bishop Wooden, who made this month. It's about Jesus pride. And I'm speaking on Jesus because he is the reason for everything that we do as far as under his name is Christ. And the thing is, if it's not standing with Christ, it's not about Christ. He's an enemy of God. He's an enemy of the Son of Jesus. He's this enemy of the Son of God. You gotta see these things because anything that God is against, you should not be for it because he's the enemy. And if they're going to try to turn a month into the month of celebrating people who's living an unclean, ungodly lifestyle, you should not be celebrating it. But we're going to make it about Jesus. We're going to turn what the devil meant for evil into something good. And we're going to celebrate the rainbow, yes. And we're going to celebrate in a godly manner. Not in the way the world try to shove it down your throat to accept it. It ain't going to make me accept it because I'm against it. And anything against Christ should be against you too. If you are supposedly putting his name before you as a Christian because Christ is in that name. And a lot of times people are afraid and they want to accept it because they want to love. Let me tell you something. This is not about hate. It is about love. And love is being honest and telling the truth of really what it's all about. It's about love. Don't let the devil trick you up, thinking love is just being an enabler and keeping you living in your sin. Love is not, that is not a love. Love is being real, being genuine, being truth, being forward with what it's really truly about. And love is in Christ. And if love is in Christ, you're going to live the way Christ say you should live. And even suffer on his sake, but still in awe, still glorifying his name. I'm not going to keep you too long here. I just wanted to come and just have this conversation with you because I know what time of the year it is. And I know what people out there want to shove down your throat, that you go out there and you accept this lifestyle and that you parade around and you take the flag of the rainbow and everything else and turn it into the way the devil trying to trick you up to believe that's what it's about. It's not about that. It's about Jesus. It's about Jesus. And I just wanted to have this conversation with you tonight. But I want to thank all of you who have subscribed to my channel. And I hope I can hold you out here for a while. If it's not your channel, then okay. Then I miss you and God bless you. And I hope you find what you really, truly want to, where you want to go and be happy. But here is all about the truth. It's all about the truth. Because like I said, I stand for humanity and I stand for the love of God. And loving God, sometimes there's some things that's against God I have to say I'm against. And it is what it is. But anyway, those of you who are entering my channel, please hit the like button. And those of you who may view this video, if you get a chance, please hit the like button. And I appreciate you all. So may God be with you all this evening. I got to go to bed. I'm tired. I just wanted to come in and just show up and show out tonight. Love you. God bless and peace.